Hi, this is Lynn for B&B Films. As you will notice, unfortunately, I've lost my opening title sequence, so I'm going to have to recreate one or get someone to possibly make one for me so I can get this up and rolling again. In other news, I've been staring at some of the new films that shall be coming out in over the next year. At least in this fall, we're looking up a bit, um, other than the fact that there is apparently the Yogi Bear movie coming out in December. We actually have Woody Allen's new film, You Shall Meet a Tall Dark Stranger, which will come out in September. The film is about two married couples, one older, which is Gemma Jones and Anthony Hopkins, who play a married couple that separate because Anthony Hopkins' character decides he wants to relive his youth, and he, he gets up with a younger woman. And then there's their daughter who is having very big issues with her love life with her husband, and they both are on their way toward the splits, where their new people would be Naomi Watts, who is the daughter, is actually might be hooking up with her sexy art dealer, played by Antonio Banderas. You can tell right there I love Antonio Banderas. And her husband, who's played by Josh Brolin, will become infatuated with his next door neighbor that he sees through the window across the street. And that is the character. This character is being played by Frida Pinto. As we all remember from Slumdog Millionaire, this is the project that she worked on immediately after, and we haven't kind of seen anything since then. But it looks promising. It's a cute romantic comedy from Woody Allen. I'm slightly, well, I was slightly surprised, but I did a quick check to see that Woody Allen has not placed himself anywhere in the film. But it seems like the last film he did actually get in front of the camera for was Scoop, and that was in 2006. But I can understand. He was born in 35. He's now going on 75 years old, I believe, if I'm doing that calculations right. I looked at IMDb for a quick check. So, running back and forth behind, in front of the camera, check out the dailies, go home, chill out with the wife, is probably going to slowly take its toll. So, one thing at a time. But I'm perfectly fine with still watching anything that Woody Allen still puts himself into. Um, Other films, as of this summer, there were a great deal of good films that came out. Like I did my review on the Joan Rivers documentary, and I have actually seen Cyrus and was privileged to see this week. I was able to see the film The Kids Are Alright, which stars Julianne Moore and Annette Bening as a married lesbian couple living out in California who, on their daughter's 18th birthday, actually decides to go ahead contact her sperm donor, played by Mark Ruffalo, because her brother really wants to meet him. And of course, we all know what happens from there, just based off of the trailers. The issue of the fact that you are a happy family, and you introduce that outside element, and it all goes a little bit awry. Um, now, one of the great things is I do love the performances by Julianne Moore. I always love Julianne Moore. It's hard for me to hate Julianne Moore. I love her to death. Um, Even in not, well, it's like I know some people didn't love 9 Months, where she played like Hugh Grant's girlfriend from back in the '90s, but I still love that movie. It still makes me giggle, and I love her. But Julianne Moore and Annette Bening both give fantastic performances in this. I mean, Annette Bening, any film that I've seen her in, she wouldn't steer me wrong, as well as Julianne Moore. And their chemistry together is just that sweet, genuine couple. And it's one of those things that it doesn't matter that they're a lesbian couple. It's that couple that you see just walking down the street, where they've been together for so long that you start to see those issues where people are picking on each other, and they don't recognize that they pick at each other, or pick one spouse who's just like, I'm the breadwinner, will pick away at the other spouse. Mark Ruffalo plays, it's like they actually almost describe who he is in the film. He's kind of the slightly hippie alternative guy that everything's cool. Well, he won't say cool, but that's all right. I can't describe exactly what he said a lot of the time during the film, but the two children in the film, The Kids Are Alright, are played by Mia Wasikowska, who is better known currently for her role in this year's blockbuster Alice in Wonderland, playing the lead character of Alice, and Josh Hutcherson, who has played many different films. One of his last films that I can recall was The Vampire's Assistant. He's also been in film, the small film Little Manhattan, as well as the follow-up to Jumanji, Zathura. The film Zathura. He wasn't in Jumanji. He was in Zathura. You know, the film that was way too much like Jumanji. You were kind of confused and thought somebody was making a crap remake, and then in their own words, but it was actually from the exact same guy who wrote Jumanji. Um, if you've seen them both, you're probably just like, oh, okay, I get it. Their portrayal is pretty simple. I mean, Josh Hutcherson's character, whose name is Laser, because his mom is Julianne Moore in the movie. She's kind of a little bit alternative in that sense, as you see her. She names her child Laser. He's kind of more. He's got the interesting combination of he's an athlete combination skate. He's an athlete doing basketball, baseball, football type deals, soccer, and he's a skater. I'm sorry, I don't see many people who are like that. And Mia's character, who who's named Joni, who was born from Annette Bening, she's kind of the more upstanding citizen girl. She's get those straight A's. She's got that like I have lots of potential and I meet that expectation. But the great thing about that character is she shows the vulnerability about it because of the fact that she's gotten to do all these great things, but she doesn't seem to be doing it for her, and she seems to be backing into a corner because her mom kind of nitpicks her down. Again, as you see, this is a film that can relate to a lot of people. I know there are some people who might not be interested in it because, of course, lesbians. Oh no, lesbians. But it's not purely about the fact of just gay marriage. It's about marriage. It's about the relationships. It's about the fact that who knows, you have that strange idea of what family is, and you're used to it. But then when it gets mucked up, you're upset. You know, you take it for granted until the point where it's almost broken. I would really highly suggest going to go see this film if you can. And I will come back to you maybe today or tomorrow with my review on Cyrus. If you have not seen that film, that's another one I would suggest. It's worth a view. So, this is Lynn for B&B Films, and start that movie watching. Or